Hey guys, time for a 5 a.m. video. Listen, it's been a long time, many weeks, in fact. And the reason being is, as you know, if you're following me, I am actually doing the 60/20 project. And every morning I'm taking a progress pic of myself and a weigh in and putting that up. So I'm still being very um, upfront, truthful, whatever you want to call it, real, showing my current goals and how I'm going through it. So obviously, I just haven't done some of the videos because I've been putting a lot of time into that, which is going really well, as you see the progress, which is fantastic. And in fact, that leads to this morning's video because last night I was talking to one of my clients, and I have one of my new clients who's working very hard to make some changes, and she's doing incredibly well. But we talked about one of the things I have in my process that I insist on is progress photos. So I'm working with you and I put you in my app, every 2 weeks you have to take a progress picture. And that progress picture is you standing facing forward, sideways, and backwards in your underwear. So we can see exactly where you're starting from. And we can see every 2 weeks the progress, how the body's changing. So this is like next level mirror stuff. And if you watch any of my stuff before, you know how I feel about the power of the mirror, where the mirror doesn't lie and the reflection is showing you is the habits you've built, the discipline, the neglect, your standards, and your excuses. So when you see yourself in the mirror, what's staring back at you is everything you believe and feel about yourself, right? And if you don't like what you're seeing, it's because you need to change what you're doing, how you think, and your mindset on it. And it's harsh. It's harsh at first. And we were talking about how, it's very hard to look at because she doesn't like where she is. So then I sent her one of my before pictures of 390 pounds. And I said, this is what I had to look at every time I not only took progress photos, but every day back then when I started was standing in my underwear, taking a progress picture and posting it on Facebook, right? Accountability, harsh accountability, and being accountable to myself. And again, it was showing me visually everything that I believed and my rituals and my standards that I held for myself was looking back at me. So at 398 pounds, they weren't very good standards. They weren't very good self-beliefs, and they weren't very good. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. How I was behaving, how I was conducting myself, the standards I held myself to was not good. So when we take the progress pics, it's like looking in the mirror and looking even more in depth because we're standing there and we're standing certain ways to expose everything, to see everything that's going on with our body. And what's happened now, and that struggle is if you don't face it and truly face it, you're really not going to be able to change. You're not going to sit there and say, look where I'm at. I don't like where I'm at. And I need to remind myself that on a regular basis so that, you have the internal force to make the changes, to hold the standards and to eat better and follow the daily non-negotiables, right? So what we focus on is what we change. What we track is what we change. And then going even further now, if we think about it, one of the reasons why we don't like the mirror is because we want to hide from it. We want to hide from what we've done to ourselves. More importantly, we want to hide about how we feel about ourselves. So actually, what we're doing is we're catfishing ourselves, right? So catfishing is when you present a certain image online, usually to trick somebody to thinking you're a version of you that you're not, right? So some people will post a picture of them 20 years ago when they were 20 years younger. They'll have different angles. They'll use filters. They'll use old photos. They'll dress to make things look better, perfect lighting. And now we actually have AI where people are using AI tools to make themselves even better. And I do it a little bit just to screw around to see, what would this look like on me? What would that look like on me? That kind of thing. And it's fun to do when you use it as a goal and a projection, but not to misrepresent yourself. But who we're really catfishing is ourselves. We're faking it to ourselves. We're trying to convince ourselves we're a version that we would love to be without doing the work and fixing the problems and fixing the standards, raising the standards and doing the structure and basically doing what we need to do, right? We need to be healthier. We need to be fitter. We need to eat less. We need to exercise more, right? And you could sit there and say, well, to me, it's all about, I'm not about vanity and how I look. Well, I'm going to call bullshit on that because at the end of the day, we care about how we look. That's why a lot of times as we get more out of shape. We end up having great haircuts and great beards, that kind of thing, and wear better clothes and that kind of thing, drive a cooler car, do things to make ourselves feel better, present ourselves better. We basically are faking it. We're faking it to the world, which sees right fucking through it. We're faking it to ourselves, which deep down we see right fucking through it. But for a moment, we can feel a little better about ourselves because we've hidden it a little better, right? So listen, the mirror, the progress photos, right? The reason why they're so powerful is because they don't lie and they don't let you get away with anything. They stop the game that you're pulling on yourself. So at the end of the day, do we want to live in a world for ourselves that we just spend time avoiding everything, avoiding all the pain, all the discomfort? Because, we want comfort. We don't want to be a little uncomfortable. I don't want to eat a little less. I don't have to create a food plan. I don't have to work out every day, right? I'd rather couch. I'd rather drink. I'd rather eat, right? Because those are quick fixes. They feel good right away, but we're doing it. Imagine if every time you were eating food, you were eating it in front of a mirror. Every time. I guarantee you would change what you eat. Imagine if every time you sat down to flop on the TV, you had a mirror right beside the TV looking back at you, right? Imagine if every time you got dressed in the morning, you did it in front of the mirror. It would change things immediately because there's no more hiding from it. So at the end of the day, like anything, until you face what you don't want to face, you're not going to make the changes you want to make. That's it, right? Some people find it harsh. It's like, I don't want to get on the scale every day. The only time you don't want to get on the scale every day is if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing to make the changes, that scale is moving in the right direction, even before you get on it. And if you have an off day or two, it's not a big deal because you can trace it back to a misstep or, there's a slight fluctuation. But 6 out of 7 times in the week, you're going to have movement downwards. And if not, it's feedback. You're doing the work and you make adjustments, right? So don't hate the scale. Don't hate the mirror, right? Just dislike what you let yourself become. Focus on you. Focus inward, not outward. That's the difference, right? It's not about, all this bullshit about fat acceptance. It's not about, well, if they love me, they'll love me the way I am and stuff like that. They will love you when you love yourself. That's it. Be honest with yourself. Face who you are. If you truly are happy with who you are, if you truly deep down are fucking happy with who you are and what you're doing, you fucking win. That's it. At the end of the day, you win. But if you're not, then stop lying to yourself. Stop hiding from yourself. Face yourself. Get up every morning. Hop on the scale. Look in the mirror. Brush your teeth naked. Shave naked. Brush your hair fucking naked. Right? In the mirror. Look at what's happening in front of you all the time. I'm telling you, that's the biggest shift that's going to happen because you're no longer hiding from it. You're facing it, and you're dealing with it, and you're going to become more honest with yourself. So, again, the power of the mirror, progress videos, daily weigh-ins, stuff like that, it fucking matters, and I take it to the next level with the daily fucking, here I am in my underwear pic, to show that I am doing what I said I'm going to do. I'm showing the progress I'm going to do. I'm showing that it can be done. I'm showing exactly how I fucking do it, so that people understand that if I can do it, anybody can do it. The thing is to figure out your plan, your structure, your goal, how you're going to do it. Are you going to get a coach? Are you going to program? You figure all that shit out, right? But face it every day. Face yourself every day. Take a good long look in the mirror every fucking morning and decide how you want to live that day, and then do it again at night. Just figure out how you did and take a fucking daily, recap to see how did the day go. You started the day a certain way. This was your plan. At the end of the day, do a recap. How did you stick to the plan? Did you stick to the plan and things are going the way they're supposed to? Great. Did you stick to the plan and things aren't going the way they're supposed to? You have something to adjust. But if you didn't stick to the fucking plan and you don't like the way things are going, you're stuck in that fucking loop again. Face the mirror, hop on a scale, take progress pics, change your fucking life. Let's go.